Hey everyone, if you're getting ready for your RBT certification exam, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to run through a 10-question challenge to see how sharp your skills really are. Let's do it.
So, you think you're ready? We're going to focus on what I think is one of the trickiest domains, professional conduct and scope of practice. Seriously, these are the questions about ethics and boundaries that can really trip people up on the actual exam. Let's see how you do.
All right, first up, picture this. You notice another RBT on your team is kind of taking shortcuts with the client's behavior plan. What's your move? Do you A, just ignore it, B, run and tell the parent, C, confront your coworker right then and there, or D, report your concerns to your supervisor? Take a second.
The answer is D, report it to your supervisor. And here's why that's so important. Your number one job is to protect the client and make sure the treatment is being done correctly. Going directly to a coworker can just cause drama, and telling a parent undermines the whole team. Reporting it up the chain of command isn't being a tattletale, it's your professional duty.
Okay, question 2. You're in a session and the client's dad comes in and says, "Hey, forget that written plan, try my way instead." What do? A, do what the dad says, he's the parent. B, do whatever seems like it'll work the fastest. C, stick to the written plan. Or D, just pack up and end the session. The right choice is C. You have to calmly explain that you need to follow the plan as it's written. This is all about what we call treatment fidelity. As an RBT, your role is to implement the plan the BCBA designed. You can and should listen to what parents say and pass it along to your supervisor later, but in the moment, you stick to the script.
All right, question 3. This one's a classic. A parent is super happy with your work and asks if you can do some private work on the side for their neighbor, cash on the weekends. It sounds nice, but what's the professional move? A, agree to it if the work seems similar. B, politely decline and explain your role. C, say yes if the goals are kind of the same. Or D, just offer a few general tips.
The answer has to be B. This is a perfect example of why we have rules about avoiding what are called multiple relationships. As an RBT, you can only provide services through your agency and under the supervision of a BCBA. Taking on private clients, even as a favor, creates a huge conflict of interest and means you'd be working without supervision, which is a big no-no.
Question 4 gets into confidentiality. The client's grandma pulls you aside and starts asking about the child's diagnosis and what medications they're on. You know you can talk about the session, but this feels different. What do? A, tell her everything you know. B, share how the session went but refer her for the other stuff. C, say nothing at all. Or D, hand over the client's file.
The correct answer here is B. It's all about knowing your role and staying in your lane. You can absolutely talk about what happened during your session. That's part of your job. But questions about diagnoses or medication, that's way outside your scope. The professional thing to do is politely refer those questions back to the parents or the doctor. Okay, this one's tough. Question 5. You see a new staff member being too rough with a client, maybe raising their voice. The client is clearly distressed. What is the very first thing you do? A, just step in and take over. B, make sure the client is safe and then report it. C, do nothing. Or D, wait a minute to see if it gets better.
The answer is B, and that word first is everything. Your absolute, number one, non-negotiable priority is to protect the client from harm. So your first move is to make sure the client is safe, which might mean calmly stepping in to stop the interaction. Right after that, you report what you saw to your supervisor. This isn't about getting someone in trouble, it's about your ethical duty to keep clients safe.
Question 6 is another very serious one. You notice some bruises on your client that weren't there before. The caregiver gives you a story that doesn't quite add up. As an RBT, what is your responsibility? A, document it and report it according to your company's policy. B, just accept the explanation. C, confront the caregiver. Or D, snap some pictures with your personal phone.
The only correct answer is A. As an RBT, you are a mandated reporter. That means if you suspect abuse or neglect, you are legally required to report it. You need to objectively document what you saw in your notes, tell your supervisor immediately, and follow your organization's reporting policy to the letter. Never, ever confront the caregiver or use your personal phone for photos.
Let's shift gears a little, but we're still talking boundaries. Question 7. The client's sibling comes up to you during a session and asks for help with their math homework. You've got a little downtime. What do? A, help them out. It's good for rapport. B, help them if mom or dad says it's okay. C, politely explain your job is to focus on your client. Or D, let the sibling join in on what you're doing.
And the answer is C.
This one's pretty black and white. Your time and your skills are being provided for one person, your client. Even if you mean well, helping a sibling with homework is outside your scope. The professional response is to just kindly explain that your focus has to stay on your client and their plan.
Question 8 is all about navigating tricky collaborations. You're at the client's school and the teacher says, "Hey, that token board isn't working. I want you to use my sticker chart instead." What's your move? A. Switch to the teacher's system. B. Agree that the teacher's idea is better. C. Stick with the plan but tell your supervisor about the feedback. Or D. Just stop using rewards.
The answer is C. Remember, your job is to implement the plan, not change it on the fly. You have to keep running the plan as written by your BCBA. But, and this is a big but, you're also a vital link in the communication chain. So you continue with the plan and then you pass that teacher's feedback along to your supervisor. They're the one who decides if a change is needed.
We are almost at the finish line. Question 9. The client's older sister sees what you're doing and asks if you can help her with her anxiety about homework. What's the right response? A. Say sure, I can help. B. Tell her ABA is only for autism. C. Explain your role is just with your client and suggest she talks to her parents. Or D. Offer to help her after your session off the clock.
The correct answer is C. This is another classic scope of practice situation. You can't just start providing services, even if they seem informal, to other family members. That's designing an intervention, and that's the BCBA's job. Offering to help on your own time, that just creates a messy, dual relationship. The professional move is to maintain that boundary and refer her to the right people.
Last question. You're in the classroom, and the teacher flat out says, "I don't like this plan. I want you to do this instead." What do? A. Go with what the teacher wants. It's her classroom. B. Explain you have to follow the plan, but you'll pass her concerns along. C. Just stop what you're doing. Or D. Try to write a new plan with the teacher?
And our final answer is B. This one really brings it all home, right? It combines your two main jobs, implementation and communication. You have to respectfully explain that you're required to follow the plan as written, but you also show respect for the teacher by offering to communicate their concerns to your supervisor. It's the perfect balance.
So, how did you do? If you aced all 10, that's amazing. But if one or two of those questions made you think for a second, that is totally normal. This little quiz is a great check-in, but let's be real, the actual RBT exam covers so much more. A few random questions here and there just aren't going to cut it.
That's where you need a smarter way to study. FlashGenius isn't just a list of random questions, it's an actual prep system. It gives you an AI-guided learning path, so you know exactly what to work on. You get unlimited practice, timed simulations that feel just like the real exam, and my favorite part, an AI-powered smart review that doesn't just say wrong, it explains why you got it wrong.
And when you stack it up against other tools out there, it's really no contest. You know, things like Pocket Prep or WizLabs are fine for just drilling questions. But do they give you an AI path to guide your studying? Do they have an AI that actually reviews your mistakes with you? Nope. Only FlashGenius really brings all those modern, powerful tools together.
At the end of the day, your RBT certification isn't just another test. It's the next big step in your career. It's right there, waiting for you. So the only question left is, are you really prepared to go out and earn it? It's time to stop guessing and start studying smarter. You've got this.